Welcome back, everyone. Apologies, of course, we did have a little bit of a long break in between those maps, rather. But we are ready to hop back into it. It's going to be Overpass, of course, coming up now. We've seen FURIA being able to take Nuke with a 16-11 scoreline after, of course, taking Inferno 16-9, which, of course, now puts them in a position where if they can finish it off here on Overpass, they will, of course, be claiming themselves that spot over in Cologne. And, of course, that is a very prestigious tournament that everyone wants to attend. It would be a big occasion for FURIA, and, of course, how well they've been playing, it certainly could be an event that they can maybe stir up a little bit of action, I suppose. I don't know what I was really going for there. But it is going to be a quick round, actually, to kick this off right now for Ghost. They want to go straight over towards B. They do have some utility in their possession, but they don't really use it. And they end up just getting shut down. Steel drew a couple of flashes initially. But as you can see, only the Glock of Freakazoid being successful in actually connecting any frags. Elsewhere, FURIA managed to shut it down. A very quick pistol indeed to start it off. I'm bored, no games on Steam to play. What should I do? I've been enjoying that Mordo game recently. I haven't got to play it in the last 3 days, unfortunately, as I have been busy casting this, of course. But it's quite fun. Depends on the games that you're into, of course. There we go. The force spike coming through from Ghost. They have a Scout, 4 Deagles, and a lot of utility in terms of 5 smokes and 1 grenade. That's it. I mean, it's more so they have a lot of smokes, which indicates that they are probably going to be looking at a bit of an execute. The issue is, without any flashes, they're also going to have to go in dry, which is, of course, not the best case scenario. As it's a pretty slow start actually coming through. Ghost right now just slowly clearing out their way as they look to try and gather some map control. It's a very passive setup from FURIA, so they're not really pushing forward, having those SMGs and the weaker rifles in play. They want to just kind of chill back towards the bomb sites at the moment, it seems. 2 up on A. A third actually being rotated over, which looks like it could be the incorrect decision, because as we do see Ghost falling back, they begin to group up outside a Monster and in Connector, so a B-split pretty possible at this point. Although they also still could take it up through Connector, so that's kind of the question. With the smokes they haven't played, there's also a lot of room for the fake to come through, so this is certainly going to be an interesting one now to see how Ghost are going to end this, as they are beginning to run quite low on time. 30 seconds remaining. It's not too bad, of course. Wardell being spotted on long, tries to fire off a Scout shot. Unfortunately, not connecting it. And with that now, Ghost really just need to get a move on. It is going to have to be in towards B at this point. With 20 seconds remaining, if the bomb gets dropped, if they get delayed at all on this push forward, this could get dangerous. And here we go, 12 seconds on the clock now. The MP9 in towards the barrels is actually struggling a little bit. AbleJ eventually gets one. The bomb does actually get dropped. And in the meantime, the flash that came through blinded Freakazoid, so he wasn't able to retrieve that bomb to plant it. So it is indeed going to be FURIA managing to hold it down successfully. Again, only 1 casualty comes through, similar to what we've seen on the pistol round. It's AbleJ, the exact same player. As we see Ghost Gaming carrying over a Scout at least, but of course that kind of throws off the economy a bit as well. It means even though the buy comes through in the next round for Ghost, Wardell isn't going to be able to get a great investment. He'll probably be stuck down to maybe a pistol or SMG, which isn't ideal, especially as the opper. He probably wouldn't have gotten up anyway, since he did invest in that previous round. I mean, they do get $2,900 in the next round, so if they get a bomb plant, then Wardell would still be able to buy. That is something you do have to remember. But it's not going to be easy to get a bomb plant. Overpass is one of those maps where there's a lot of ground to cover before you can actually try and get that bomb down. It's not like something like Train, for example, where on B you get down the ramp and then the bomb site is pretty much right in front of you, so there's a good chance of actually getting that bomb planted. Even if it's difficult to hold the after plant, it is something that can come in fairly consistently on ecos, especially if the CTs don't have great economy. But that's not the case here on Overpass. Currently, it is all the frags going in favor of Fury, looking for the ace. He is stopped eventually. Not before he was able to even do damage onto that 5th player, of course. So, Freakazoid easily traded out. 3-0 is the lead now for FURIA, as they started off strong here on map number 3. Of course, again, a reminder for anyone who just tuned in, if they can take the victory here on Overpass, that'll be a 3-1 victory in the best of 5. And, of course, they will have actually won the qualifier and claimed that spot at Cologne. What's the time at for me? It is currently 10 to 2 in the morning, so 1:50 a.m. 48 a.m. But you know, close enough, rounding it up. Oh, bit of team damage coming through there on the Acoustic. Not ideal. Nade going through, I believe. That actually does a bit on towards Art, so it is exchanged back at least. Vinny also did end up taking a bit early on. But FURIA have kept a couple of weaker weapons in play in this round. If they do end up losing it, they aren't really looking at a buy. At least they won't be onto Yuri or Vinny. But they probably would invest, as elsewhere they'd get a pretty solid buy in terms of the weapons at least. Utility-wise, it would be maybe somewhat limited, but of course they are currently focused on this round. Kusta being taken down to 37 early on is not the start that Ghost would have been hoping for. They have just under a minute now remaining, so I mean they're not in too much of a rush to make a decision about where they're going to go. But they haven't really covered much ground, so if they want to try and take it towards A, they're going to be in a little bit of a hurry and won't be in a position to really be able to clear out all of those angles perfectly, which certainly could be a little bit dangerous. So they do indeed group up outside of Monster. Not too much utility left in the possession of the CT side, actually. Caserato going to be coming down. He has a Molotov, which could delay, actually delay that Monster push, as could the nade. It does a bit of damage, not really all that much considering it went directly in on top of him. The Molotov goes down on default. Steel going to be the one that looks to try and lead the charge. Is it the Man of Steel? Apparently not. The bullets do indeed take him down. Art's going to find one in the meantime as well. With that now a 2 on 1. I couldn't get that final number out because it was ever changing. Vinny going to go ahead and find the last frag onto Wardell. That is 4-0 for FURIA. No bomb plant coming through, but Ghost Gaming at least been able to find 3 frags. They do a bit of damage. But as we can see, even though there is enough for the buy in terms of pulling out all the rifles for Ghost, they don't have a lot of excess cash afterwards. They would be working with basically no utility if they wanted all AKs. So they decide against the full buy. Pistols, Kevlar, bit of utility coming into play, as they do early on make their way over towards the B side of the map. Nade going through. Yeah, that is how I pronounce it. A man advantage already being found though. Able J does drop Steel. You see all 4 players actually already advancing out on Monster, and the wall of smoke's giving them a chance to maybe try and get that bomb planted, maybe even catch a player off guard. Wardell gets one on the P250, but overall, overwhelmingly rather, it is the frags going towards FURIA. And Able J actually there to close it out. He picks up 3 in the round, and it's going to be 5-0 now. FURIA, of course, just looking spectacular tonight. If they manage to take this map, then they will have pulled off 2 flawless series. The consolidation final, of course, they took both maps 16-9 to take it 2-0. They came into this final here and haven't struggled all that much. I mean, there's been points where Ghost look like they're fighting back into it, but overall they haven't been what we know they're capable of. I mean, we can't take that away from FURIA though, who have also been playing amazingly, as we did say. How does the side selection work, Jibberjazz is asking? It does indeed work as he guessed, which is whoever picks the map, the other side then picks the picks which side they start off on, whether it's the CT or T side. So that is the case. But Ghost back onto the full buy now. Wardell on the op. Speaking of the op, I was going to say it actually wasn't the op in the hands of Art, though. It was Vinny who had gotten aggressive on short. So he's the one who goes down early on. Oh, that peek gets so much info for Caserato. Unfortunately, not actually able to make the frag happen. Doesn't really even connect any substantial damage either. So it is still just a disadvantage in terms of the manpower at the moment for FURIA, and not ideal. It's around the minute remaining, just under that once again for Ghost, as they don't have any control on the map. That's the issue. That's actually allowed for a little bit of a gamble to improve from FURIA. They have 3 players already in position to try and hold it down. But Kusta was able to actually walk past the smoke, takes a quick double kill. Caserato, who was hiding in the smoke, eventually gets dropped as well. And with that, Yuri decides that he doesn't want anything to do with this retake. He's going to save that AUG over. FURIA will be buying again, but it's a position where they didn't build up all that much money. They took 5 rounds in a row, sure, but they only built up enough really for 1 investment to be found after they lose a round. So if they, if we do actually see rather Ghost taking themselves 2nd in a row, then FURIA likely would be looking at an eco. So it will be all 5 players for Ghost surviving as well. That puts them in a good position where they're not going to be getting their economy broken quickly. which is always ideal. Well, it can't be broken really when they have the loss bonus built up, but you know what I mean. They wouldn't be put into a position where they have to reinvest onto everyone, and they do at least have one more buy in the back pocket in case they do end up losing this one to FURIA. But as I said, this is their opportunity now. If they can find this one, they get a bit of control on the D side. They'd likely bring it up to 3 at that point, before we do actually end up seeing the guns come out again for FURIA. So this is quite a crucial round for both sides. FURIA have the opportunity to just go ahead and regain the control quite easily. Bring it up to 6-1 lead, which would be looking pretty good, of course. But again, Ghost don't really put anything towards that A side of the map. They're happy enough with giving up the map control, just being cautious at a flank, and just really pressuring this B bomb site, which has been successful so far. And they showcase that once again here in this round. It's the op this time that finds the open frag. Normally they've been kind of playing a passive and just going in with the executing and trading. This time they switch it up a bit. Wardell's allowed to have a bit of freedom. Taking down Vinny. It has been, again, a rotation coming through, so there are 3 players on this actual bomb site already. I mean, and there's certainly an opportunity for FURIA to try and hold it down. Let's see if that's going to be allowed. 2 players in the pit. Jay trying to peek up on the Zog, seeing what he can find. Caserato actually making his way above the smoke, able to get 1, but he will end up being dropped. Again, though, traded in return, so a 3v3, Yuri on top of the same position as his teammate previously was, is able to go ahead and eventually take down Freaka's side, but Neptune pushing forward, gets a double kill. It's all onto Art now in the heaven. He has an AWP, but he's been spotted. Wardell playing around that smoke at barrels. Takes the 2nd round for Ghost, and with that now, as I said, Furia looking at an eco. Someone said I have 0 knowledge of CSGO. Alright, fam. Do you want to go? I'm only messing. I definitely don't have 0 knowledge. I'm wondering why you said that, though. Did I say something that you disagreed with? If I did, then tell me what. We can have a discussion, you know? I'm always up for trying to learn new things. If you think I'm thinking about something in the wrong way, then I'm definitely up for being helped with hopefully correcting it, or maybe, I guess, confirming what I believe. Well, here we go. Freakazoid able to find a quick kill. He found that aggression towards B. There was a frag elsewhere as well, as Caserato was the initial player to go down. Pushing forward onto B. Ghost there actually just going to find a completely open bomb site now. They do spot a player in heaven, but I mean, he's not really going to be able to do much about it. The bomb is going to go down. And with that, we will indeed see a 3rd round most likely for Ghost. Kusta even cutting off Art in towards the mid position right there. So 5-on-2. Abel J and Yuri all that remain. A P250 and a USP, so they don't really have anything to save. At that point, they may as well just try and work together and see if they can perhaps even steal a rifle away. It's actually 2 a.m. 2 a.m. Tez. They're kind of just chilling. I suppose, I mean, even if they do end up going down to the rifles, that gives over more money to Ghost. It's $300 per frag. But they are indeed somewhat looking for these exits, kind of just holding. They're not throwing themselves at it, but if they're being given to them, they are going to try and, of course, drop those players. Not going to happen, though, in the end. It is going to be Ghost indeed taking that 3rd round. All 5 players surviving, which, of course, is great for them to build up money. As Furia now are going to be coming back onto the buy. Someone asked me my rank. I've, like, well, I've global on matchmaking, which doesn't mean anything. Like, A- on ESL, and I'm, like, 2300 elo, roughly, on FACEIT. But, I mean, take that all with a grain of salt, because I don't really play the game too much anymore. I do just cast, mostly. So, I mean, that's kind of me when I'm warmed up, etc. Yeah, here we go. Another gun round coming through from Furia. Are they going to be able to put a stop to this recovery that we've seen from Ghost over the past 3 rounds? Yuri, I feel like he might be in trouble, but he gets a little bit fortunate on the timing as Kusta tries to throw out a flash, and of course it is a quick NA flash. That doesn't really do too much. It will actually allow for Yuri to fall back off. Art don't connector. He's in trouble. Ends up going down. Neptune, he's going to be wanted for destruction of Art. That's probably a a crime, right? I'd imagine so. Probably depends whether the art's in like a museum. Obviously, then it would be. Otherwise, if you just have it in your house, you can do whatever you want. But yeah, 5-on-4 right now. I was just wondering if that joke actually worked or not. The issue is for FURIA, with the man disadvantage as well, they actually have so little utility left with still 50 seconds on the clock. They don't even have a defuse kit if it comes down to a retake. Why is UK casting NA? I am quite offended by that. Because I'm Irish. But here we go, pushing forward. Oh, actually, FURIA are holding this down. This is somewhat unraveling right now for Ghost. They managed to lose a player over towards B, I believe, who was trying to lurk out and sell a bit of a fake. We then see a couple of the A defenders stepping up, and although the bomb plan may indeed come true, it doesn't look like the round is going to come true for Ghost. A nice little spray down from Vinny. It was awkward, but he got it in the end. 6-3, FURIA bringing another round in their favor. But as we, of course, seen, when Ghost did pick up those 3 rounds, they didn't struggle a little bit like we had seen FURIA do. They were able to take them a little bit more convincingly. I think at least 2 of them, they kept 5 players alive. I mean, I tell you, but as you can see on the scoreboard, there's no round counter on the ESL servers, which is what this qualifier is played on. So, that's a little bit unfortunate. But I believe at least 2 of those 3, they did actually keep all 5 alive, or at least kept like 4 alive in one and then 5 in another one. Let's see. They've bought back into it. They still have enough for another investment afterwards. Ideally, though, they probably want to put a stop to FURIA right now. Get that 4th on the board. Just continue to grind out these rounds on the T side, because of course they're in a position right now where if they lose this map, it's all over. They'll have lost their opportunity. They fought this hard and this far to make it to the finals before falling just short of that Cologne spot. As Art goes ahead and even opens it up into this round. Literally a planet destroyer. Neptune explodes. It is of course because of a high caliber bullet from a sniper. Dean is actually Swedish. The only Swedish I know is not suitable for stream. Let's see, can Ghost bring this one back? I mean, they still have 50 seconds remaining. Again, they're looking to try and favor on over towards B. And they also do have a bit of utility to allow for them to actually put in some form of execute. Only 1 smoke though, so where are they going to put that is the question. Maybe heaven, maybe on the bridge, so that they can actually come up through short. We are just going to have to wait and see if they use it at all even. A couple of flashes in play now that are going to be thrown over. Let's see if it's going to catch anyone off guard. Vinny not going to be blinded by it. Playing from the pit right now, able to take down Freakazoid. He also has the help of AbleJ, who, as of yet, I don't believe they've spotted. But he did do some damage spamming in through that wall, so they know he's there. The issue is, even though they know it, I don't know if there's anything that can be done about it, rather. Because Kusta was the last man standing. Gets a quick headshot, but it's just as quickly coming back in return. Karma is a B-atch. Why does everyone want to compete in Cologne? It's quite dirty. I'm not saying Cologne, I'm saying Cologne. Like, okay, I guess sometimes I mispronounce things, but that is not a mistake I'm making, rather. I'm not saying colon instead of Cologne. A pause, though, is going to come true. That is going to be a tactical pause from FURIA, surprisingly. I honestly thought that was going to be one coming through from Ghost. I mean, FURIA still realizing that their economy is relatively low, and of course realizing that Ghost had built up a lot of money themselves. So they know they're up against another buy round. If they can make this one work, then they put themselves in a good position. But the double op setup on the T side right now coming through. Steel is 008. Forget Idris Elba for the next James Bond. It's going to be Steel. As we have a disconnection from the server. Goodbye to, who are we missing? God damn it, oh, it's Art. Art is gone. That one's actually one I do remember. I always struggle with realizing who's gone. So, a lot of the time I end up having to get up HLTV. You just said colon. I did say colon, but that was in my reference of saying that that's not what I was saying. Colon, Cologne. Colon, Cologne. Different words, boys. Really, really different. This Bashi, please never cast the game formally. I mean, I take it a bit more... that means that I wouldn't be taking this serious the way I was going to phrase that. When I'm solo casting, I just like having a little bit of fun. I kind of use the chat as my co-caster when there's down times like this, especially when there's little like kind of lull times in the rounds, just kind of the setup, etc. When I don't have anything else to really discuss, if I've already gone over it multiple times, if it's something that they've repeated from round to round, etc. But yeah, I don't think that I'm not taking it formal. Of course, though, when I'm on a LAN and stuff, when I'm with a co-caster, I will take it a little bit more serious. I'll joke back and forth with the co-caster more. So it's usually Mitch, if any is no Mitch, another Irish guy. We do a lot of this stuff. We've done some studio stuff for ESL actually when we were in like Poland, etc. Dean is Dean because he's a dean of a school. Spot on, Diamond Ocean. I'm a dean at a college in America as an Irish 20-year-old. There's a G. It's not really pronounced though, is it? Dude, shut up and cast the game. The chat are full of silvers, don't listen to them. But I'm enjoying talking to the chat. But here we go, we're back into it. As you can see, everyone is on the server again. Art has returned, he has his op, and look at this, the boost is going to be coming through. We actually seen this work quite a lot for Ghost in the matchup they had on Overpass on the first day. Can't remember who it was against anymore. It was a couple days ago at this point, of course. But it's not actually going to work out for them. The opening frag's being found in favor of FURIA. I'm 90% sure that Yuri was actually just watching that boost right there. Unfortunately, the auto director was spotting the player who got the kill at Monster. But yeah, Wardell gets dinked down. They end up losing a couple of players early on in the round. That tactical pause, although it was called in by FURIA, it doesn't really give Ghost much of an opportunity. And of course then that technical pause as well, that ended up actually delaying it a little bit more. Here we go. Steel pushed out a Monster. He's actually really struggling with finding this kill right now. That's a little bit awkward. Keeps his head down. We'll keep him alive for the moment, but just barely. 4 HP, ends up actually burning Vinny alive. Eventually finishing off the job on that player he tagged up. Able J slightly damaged as well, but of course we can see Wardell and Steel. They have a total of 5 HP combined. And Kusta pushing forward actually is successful to get 1. This is the man we're looking at right now to make this a winnable round, in all honesty. Wardell can still be effective, as can Steel, but in terms of taking those straight up aim duels, Kusta certainly could be the... it isn't the best position, rather, looking a little bit healthier. But Yuri from behind, the other two players looking to try and come in from CT. They have the kits, they have a flash still in play. They just dropped that smoke to allow for them to try and move forward. As it does end up being a 3-on-2. Art and Yuri all that remain. They do end up pulling one back quickly. Of course, still low HP onto a couple of the players, leaving Wardell now actually alone in the one-on-one, but Yuri really low as well, chased down by the Glock. 1 HP versus 1 HP. The time's ticking away. He gets the frag, but of course the bomb can no longer be defused, and he should go down to it as well. Gets yeeted out of Monster, and then has a little bit of a body pop. Back up. Okay, I've just been informed that I'm pronouncing it really wrong. Okay, well. Ah, well. But either way, I wasn't saying Cologne. That's kind of more what I was getting at. I wasn't talking about a body part. But again, this boost going to come through from Ghost. Will it be more successful this time? I mean, even though it didn't work out in the previous round, they did manage to recover it either way, and of course take that 3-on-5. As again, they aren't really given too much of an opportunity. It's more so useful if there's a player up in heaven or jump peeking, of course, then you can also have the opportunity to find the frag, but that wasn't the case for FURIA. Right now though, Ghost again just grouping up outside a Monster early on in the round. The issue is, at this point, FURIA realize that they're being given the map control so easily all the time over towards A, and because of that, Yuri gets aggressive. He's in a great position. They're able to go ahead and stack up the B-bomb site just a little bit, ready to try and hold it down once it's needed. Steel does get spotted. The nade going through should do some pretty good damage. Indeed it does onto a couple of players. Able J doesn't even have to drop the smoke as of yet. Doesn't even seem like it's going to spread to him. Eventually does, I believe. Going to go ahead and actually move position slightly. Gets dropped by Steel, who takes a quick double headshot. Art does trade it back, though, as it's now a 2 versus 3. Favouring FURIA and extended even further, as it's all onto Freak. 1 on 3. He knows that Yuri's coming in from behind. The issue is he has to go back that way to get the bomb eventually. I mean, he doesn't have that anymore because he is dead. It looks like those... It looked like his arm is pretty messed up. I was going to try and fly over to it. But of course the round ended before I could do so. But yeah, 8-4. FURIA come in with another round win. They return it immediately after Ghost get 1. And this time Ghost haven't taken a pretty close round in the one that they actually took in their favour. A couple of rounds back means that they don't have a great economy coming into this round. I mean, they can get a full buy onto 3 players. Neptune can get an AK and Kevlar if he wants. He won't get utility though, so he might go for a weaker weapon. Acoustic can get an AK as well. Could also get a helmet if he wanted. But we do see him buying a body armor immediately. Eventually gets the helmet. Will the AK come true? I hope so, because they only have the 1 on Steel, because Neptune did actually go down to the Galil. Which you can understand, but for that bit of extra utility. There we go. Quick play coming through from Ghost. If they lose this one, then they're looking at the eco. That would be FURIA in with a good position to try and take 10 at the halftime at the least. This is a bit of a change-up. Ghost haven't showed pressure on mid in a long time, and they realized that because of that, of course, FURIA were just able to take it time and time again. So they instantly switch it up into this round now. After that flank from Yuri was effective, they try and counteract it, and it looks like they may have a fight against them quite soon in the bathrooms. Or the bathrooms, rather. Art on the op also there to assist, though. He actually manages to find this shot onto the shoulder as Neptune tries to take the peek. It is going to be Wardell, then dropped by the AK. And Freakazoid somehow not able to come in and finish off. Yuri actually gets taken down by Art, who was there to give him cover, acting as a bodyguard. A 5-on-2. The Bogdan law comes into effect as Yuri takes the op. And it's Steel and Kusta that remain. This is looking to be a 9-4 lead for FURIA right now. Getting closer and closer to claiming that spot in Cologne, which again, I may be pronouncing wrong, but ah well. And looks like they are going to try and bring it up around towards A. Issue is there's already 2 players there to try and defend. I mean, Yuri is at least low HP, so if they can finish him off quickly, take down Art, do so without actually losing the player, then it's a 2-on-2. That's very winnable, but time is also quite low. The bomb actually being dropped now, and Art peeks out to finish it off. There it is, 9-4. Ghost now, without the bomb plant, are looking at an eco most likely, as only 1 player actually has enough to fully buy. How long have I been casting? As in general, I don't know, like... I don't know, around 2 years, I think. Something like that. As another pause comes true, you can see how much this means to these teams right now. They want to take it as seriously as possible, and it is the tactical pause from Ghost, as you would expect. I don't know, are they going to force up, or are they going to take the eco and try and go for 5 at the halftime? I think that's probably the best decision. Everyone thinks Dan is a great caster. Who's this Dan you speak of, Constant? How dare you? The E is just as important as the A in my name. I'm only messing. There we go. Pistols and Kevlar for Ghost. It gives them, I mean, some opportunity for sure. I mean, it's been kind of put to an even slimmer chance right now. Yuri just spamming in through the smoke. I honestly thought he had a chance onto the first player. It was as he faded away that he eventually took a kill through the smoke. Ends up finding Steel as well as he resorts to the USP, and there it is, finished off by Art, 10-4. It will be Ghost buying up into the final round of the half, but they need to find it, otherwise FURIA are going to be leading 11-4. If they get that pistol then in the second half, they're only a couple of rounds away from actually qualifying, most likely. One caster is better than no caster. I would agree with that. 2 casters is definitely ideal though. But Wardell going down super early on in this round is not what Ghost would have been looking for. It comes through, but it sounds like come through. Yeah, I know. The way I read that, it's just going to sound the exact same for both of the times I said that word. But that's my accent. I feel like you can learn to love it, you know? You understand what I'm saying at the very least, but Vinny finds a quick kill on the Freakazoid who had creeped out on the B. Unfortunately, he was completely alone, so no chance for the trade to actually come true. Gave you the word that you love. But yeah, 5 on 3. They're pretty slowly pushing forward at this point. And they need to start finding some frags quickly. There is still just over 40 seconds remaining, so I mean, it's not the worst rush. By that I mean they're not really in a rush. Again, my brain at points is beginning to fail from exhaustion. But yeah, it's just been a stalemate for the last while. Ghost have been completely stagnant, at least up until that very second, when Steel finds one on the up and a second. And as Neptune chimed in, they gave themselves an opportunity. Steel, he snatches it up as he gets the kill and picks up the bomb in the meantime to get it planted. And brings it down to the one-on-one. Yuri, all that remains, coming in from short. Steel needs to try and take this 5th round right now for Ghost. Is he going to be able to get it done is the question. Positions himself down towards the ramp, but I think he made a bit of noise in his attempt to transition. Actually gets the damage in and takes a small bit in return. He can even resort to the pistol at this point, I think, realizing that he did get the damage in. Trying to just bait the peak right now from Yuri as the time is running down. And Steel makes it happen. A quad kill comes true for the in-game leader. To find a very important 5th round to keep Ghost in this game right now. I mean, it's going to be so difficult if they lose this pistol on the second half either way. Then FURIA probably taking at least a 12-5 half. I mean, unless the force spike comes true. So, of course, with the fact that FURIA also leading 2-1 in the best of 5 right now, if they take this, they do of course qualify for ESL 1 Cologne 2019. And I mean, at least I pronounced 3 of those 4 words right from the tournament. That's good. TH doesn't exist. No, it does not. I just can't say it, man. I try. I really try. I swear to you. It just doesn't work out. I can see people saying Steel's got this, Steel big brain. You are correct. Unfortunately, with the delay, I don't get to see your guys' reactions live. Yeah, right now, chilling in the halftime, of course. Waiting for the action to resume as at this point Ghost needing to reset themselves mentally at this point. Because as it comes into the second half, as I said, without that pistol round, it is probably going to be FURIA just running away with it. They've looked so good today. They have been on top form. As everyone has been performing extremely well for them also, which is a good sign. Again, I don't think Ghost are giving us everything that they're capable of. We know that they can be a great team. They share a pretty similar map pool rather to FURIA, and I feel like that's kind of the issue as well in this matchup, because I feel like with FURIA performing better, with the maps just being a position where there's no map where you say FURIA can't win it. There's no like pick for Ghost that's almost a 100% win. Even with the map advantage coming from the upper bracket, Ghost so far have really been struggling. I suppose I should do a quick sellout while we're here, guys. !caster in the chat to find my Twitter. Rihanna, spelt wrong, said, "Is there a place in your heart for me?" I mean, as I said, I love all you guys equally. That's all I'm going to say. Batcher and Break, how come the next half's taking so long? I mean, Juicy, your guess is as good as mine. That probably is the case. I'm sure it's been a pretty long series so far. Couple of glasses of water maybe needing to be topped up. As you said, the toilet probably being used. So hopefully we won't actually be too much longer waiting to get into the second half.
Counter-terrorists win.
Here we go, guys. Getting back into the action. Everyone's back at their PCs. They've all typed !ready or .ready. I can't actually remember what it is. But either way, the fact that we're back into the action is indeed known. It's on your screen. FURIA now on the offense. They're going to be picking up a couple of players on towards the utility. Actually, they get a Molotov and a smoke for Art. A smoke and a couple of flashes then for Casarato, rather. Casarato. I struggle with it, guys. I know. But so did Ghost. They struggle with winning this game right now. Kusta holding the angle on the USP. Actually manages to find a quick headshot to initiate this round. It does get returned with a headshot coming through from Vinny, but it's not enough for the frag, of course. Would have been the Glock. But Freak is at really low HP. Will it be an issue? Neptune able to get one. Freak still gets a headshot on towards Yuri. As it is now the 4 versus 2. Left on towards Able J. And Casarato to actually try and clutch this one out. No, Octave. No one's been mean. We have a nice chat here today, don't we, guys? But it looks like it will be a pistol potentially for Ghost. Time running down. As we hit 25 seconds on the clock, it becomes less and less likely for FURIA, as they've just kind of been chilling for the last while, waiting outside a monster and in the B water. But 15 seconds now. I don't know. They're backing off towards A. Rotation has come true, so Kusta in position. If he gets this frag, it's already over. And, I mean, low HP on the bomb carrier as well. He tries to get it planted, but Kusta just going to go in and get the knife. I mean, there wasn't really anything that Able J could do, and that is nice from Kusta. A lot of players wouldn't have the patience to do that and realize that he has to stick it. So, a little bit awkward. But yeah, we have actually seen Ghost be pretty successful on the second halves of these maps so far. Slow start on Inferno, slow start on Nuke. They did end up recovering half number 2 in both cases somewhat, but of course never enough to actually make the win happen. So is that going to be the same case this time around? Let's see. The eco in this round from FURIA completely. It's all Glocks apart from a single P250 that was upgraded from Yuri. And they already find an opening kill. That's an op actually being picked up. Why is that in play so early? But luckily enough, it doesn't matter because they're able to just clean it up. The op will be retrieved for Kusta. As it is indeed going to be Ghost closing out that anti-eco. 10-7 now. The buy is indeed going to be coming through from FURIA. They're able to actually just come straight through with this first gun round. Then it becomes quite difficult for Ghost because, I mean, they didn't take too much damage in that previous round, but they did invest into an op. That's a pretty hefty investment. So they wouldn't really be able to get a full buy through if they end up losing this one. But maybe that won't be an issue. Steel able to get the opening frag already towards Monster. It's Art who goes down early on. But Neptune and Steel both haven't been tagged up in the meantime means, although FURIA have the man disadvantage, rather, it is still a round that they certainly could recover. You cannot completely count them out of it. It's still very early days as well, with a minute and 10 seconds still remaining exactly now. As we do actually see a quick trade coming through. Neptune getting a bit aggressive, ends up getting dropped. Not before he was actually able to come through with a frag, though. So definitely worthwhile considering he was also extremely low on health. I think he will be pretty happy with how that went. And they do, of course, still retain the man advantage in their favor. 40 seconds, though, for FURIA now. The bomb still outside of B, beginning to actually make its way back over now, though. They are probably going to try and take it to the A-bomb site. And Yuri creeping forward, catches Wardell off guard. Tags him up to 22 HP, rather. Tags him down to 22 HP. But he is able to remain alive right now with that AWP on long. So, going to be able to just run down that time. Makes it a little bit awkward now as they push forward. Yuri eventually deals with that threat, but it also gave the opportunity for Kusta to set up to ensure the trade. But speaking of trades, AbleJ comes in with one of his own. 2-1-2 as the bomb is going to go down. FURIA now in the after plant, leaving Freak and Steel, Freakazoid and Steel, to try and actually pull off the 2-on-2 retake. And they don't have any utility, unfortunately, to get it done. Weapon-wise, also not the best with an MP9 and a FAMAS. I mean, this is going to be a difficult retake right now for Ghost. And if they don't move quickly, it's just going to get more and more difficult. Good positions for the T's to try and play time on that bomb, especially for Vinny, of course, on short. You can just peek it with the Creek, try and cause them to, of course, waste a little bit of time tapping away at it, etc. But he does end up losing his teammate quickly. Abel goes down, but peeking from the doors will get the first and the second frag to deny the defuse. Freakazoid goes down, as do Ghost Gaming by another round, 11-7. And as I said, Ghost losing that one aren't in the greatest of positions. I think they probably will just take one eco. $1,900 in the next round. They still won't have an amazing buy. Or the M4 with body armor only. A rifle, in all honesty, unless he wants to go for a FAMAS with some utility. But of course, the pause coming through right now is a tactical from Ghost. Realizing how important this round is as they actually decide to buy up. This could really cost them. If they end up losing this force buy, then they're on the eco. 13-7, likely going to be the scoreline for FURIA. A gun round comes through for Ghost. If they don't win that, then it's probably map point for FURIA. So, I mean, this is dangerous for Ghost right now. If it doesn't work out, it's high risk, high reward. Sometimes you need those risks, as I said before, though, because if they do end up winning it, then it's FURIA who are working with a pretty weak economy. It gives Ghost the opportunity to really close in that gap. It is going to be FURIA early on, just taking a quick charge up through long. You can see the buy actually not too bad, of course, for Ghost. They do have pretty decent weaponry. An AUG, FAMAS, a UMP, MP9, and Scout. As they approach that A-bomb site, the issue is for Ghost that the closest player is Wardell. He's pushed up onto the bathroom, so I don't know if he's even going to expect this. They stuck to the long corner, or the long wall, rather, of course, which means that he didn't hear them sprinting. So, yeah, of course, isn't being cautious at all. Wardell ends up just getting shot as he turns around. He gets a little bit of a surprise, spotting that there is multiple opponents sitting back on that A-bomb site position they shouldn't be. Casarato able to go ahead and take down Kusta as well. As at this point, Ghost really all they can do is try and save over those 3 weapons so they have at least something to work with in this next round. I mean, it's not looking too likely. Neptune actually does end up winning that fight versus Art. And we see another frag actually coming through as well. Not looking too bad. I mean, the round, of course, not winnable for Ghost, but it looks like they're going to save all their weapons, and of course they do actually manage to do quite a lot of damage over the FURIA, keeping their economy modest. In the end, Neptune falls, so that UMP is going to be lost, which, of course, severely impacts what Ghost are going to have to actually work with in this next round. It should be the full eco, apart from those 2 rifles that they saved over. What's the map count? It is currently 2-1 to FURIA, so they're 4 rounds away from qualifying to ESL 1 Cologne 2019 right now. And yeah, it was Ghost who started off with that first map due to coming from the upper bracket. They haven't actually won a map since then. FURIA have just taken the 2 to kick it off, and a 3-1 finish looking, I mean, fairly likely, moderately likely to buy again coming through from Ghost if they lose this one. and they don't save over the weapons to allow for them to force against somewhat, then it's going to be 14-7 for FURIA. I am, at this point, beginning to lose hope for Ghost, which is a little bit disappointing. I expected a lot more from them in this final, but of course, everyone is human. Sometimes poor performances do happen, and it means there's also a lot to learn. Let's see. Right now, FURIA, they want to go for a quicker play over towards B this time around. They leave one player lurking towards the playground, I believe, but as we can see, making their way out monsters, the majority of the T-side forces, and Caserato actually pushing up towards the smoke and going through it ends up getting dropped. So a decent find to start it off in favor of Ghost, but unfortunately Freakazoid trying to make the flank workout ends up getting spotted and dropped quickly. And with a 1-for-1 trade, that will favor FURIA because they have the weaponry advantage, but no longer really the case, because Vinny goes down. That should be an AK even being retrieved for one of those Ghost gaming members, and it will be actually Steel. It's actually a Krieg, never mind, but either way, the same narrative really can be taken from it. That's an extra rifle in the hands of Ghost. So we do see FURIA looking to try and take it back towards B. How has Yuri creeped all the way into the spawn? I mean, he is going to be spotted now by Q-Stick and should be taken down, so it seemed like Ghost were aware of the fact that they'd given up all that control, of course. They knew that they could be flanked from A. They were watching the correct angle, fortunately, and Abel now all alone, going to be taken down, finished off, and that will be Ghost picking up a round finally. They do it off the back of a force buy, of course, and you see now, of course, FURIA. Look how weak their economy is. They have 2 players on a double eco, so they're probably going to buy up themselves. And indeed they are. Arthur actually pulls out a Krieg with no Kevlar. I'd like to see him give that to a teammate in return for a pistol, maybe. But Arthur actually does decide to keep that Krieg in play. A little bit surprising, doesn't have Kevlar, as I said, so the aim punch certainly could be a factor. That's where pistols and Kevlar across the board, so I mean, the fact that he's the one player without Kevlar that actually decides to use it as well is a little bit strange, but he does get boosted up, so I mean, it was an attempt to try and find the frag without really having to take a duel. Unfortunately, that's not what happens. Neptune opens it up. It will also then rather be Steel who gets aggressive on short to find another frag on towards Yuri. Takes a dink in the process, but not too bad considering they now have the 5-on-3 with the round heavily favouring them at this point. Kusta, he realises he can fall back off as well, doesn't really need to keep up with that aggression in connector. Unable to actually shut down that monster push rather from Vinny. The end of that round is going to come true. Ghost Gaming bringing it up to 9. Most importantly, taking that round with all 5 players alive. So the force buy from FURIA not really finding any success at all. As the eco will indeed come true now for FURIA. Oh, a bit of a team knife. It's not too impactful. Neptune down to 87. I mean, it puts him within 1-shot range to the head by that P250 in the hands of Vinny, but hopefully it won't be too impactful. Connector control early on, though, for FURIA. They do manage to chase a couple of players up towards middle, but Wardell on the FAMAS is ready for it. Gets 2 on the spray control before going down. Kusta looking to try and match it and maybe even up it. 2 more players on mid, but it's actually Freakazoid who comes in to get 2 of them. Dead 2 of them, rather. So 12-10, 2 rounds now in the difference. As the ball is going to come back out now for both sides. FURIA, will they be able to pick up another round here? Or are Ghost likely off the back of this one if they do end up actually putting this gun round in their favour? They likely would actually be able to equalise it. So at that point then we'd be expecting a 12-12 scoreline. As FURIA go back to what was actually working for them early on in this one when they ended up taking that early long control, staying up against the wall so that they wouldn't be heard by anyone who's playing around the bathrooms. But Of course, that wasn't the case. Kusta up in the playground, actually able to find the opening frag. Should be aware that he could potentially be getting flanked, but I don't think he's being too cautious of it. Going for a flank of his own, though. Going to realize no one's there. Do they know that the bathrooms has been taken over? I don't know if they do, because they've done a little bit of a switcheroo. Kusta, easy frag onto Yuri as he comes back out, though. So Ghost, since these guns have got back in their hands now on the CT side, have been looking really strong. Are they going to be able to get this one done? Freakazoid going to take down Art. Molotov being dropped as well, going to try and delay the push from coming through from Furia, as they just continue to lose players. It's one by one that they fall, leaving only Caserato now all alone over towards the bathrooms, and I believe he has now been spotted by Freakazoid. Definitely has. Wardell spots him as well. That's a little bit scarier, of course, with the op in his hands. Cassie MP says, I dare the caster to do ASMR during a full round. I don't think that would be a great idea. Serato trying to see what he can get done. Actually does open up the A bomb site. I mean, if he wants to go straight for the bomb plant right now, he should find it. He's going to have to stick it at this point, so we'll get it down. That's a nice little bonus of $800 per player. I don't think they're going to be able to buy, though, because they don't have the loss bonus built up all that much. I think they're probably going to have about 3,000 maybe on the players. Yeah, 3,700 actually. So, I mean, they can buy. It just won't give a lot of utility onto most of them, which is not ideal. And actually, Furia don't decide to buy. I mean, that's definitely the safer approach. It's going to allow for Ghost to get a 12th round on the board, but it does also ensure that the next gun round for Furia will be in this next round instead of this one, but it also gives them much better weaponry. I mean, if you think about it, if they went for the buy in this one, didn't get the round win, then they'd be just giving away a free round anyways, and would just be allowing for Ghost to get even one round more. Here we go, let's see. Being held down already over towards B. So far, the investment that Furia put into this round is not really giving them very much. April J eventually gets one, but with that, they still, of course, haven't retrieved the rifle, and Kusa comes in to clean it up. As a pause comes through, it is Furia with a tactical timeout, realizing that the lead that they had, what was looking to be almost a confirmed victory here on Overpass to claim their qualifier spot, is beginning to slip away. I mean, even if they lose this map, it's still only 2-2, so we will be going on to map number 5. But they want to try and close it out now. They don't want to risk that, as the pause has been removed and the action is going to resume. The full buy again from Furia. There's no op available. Unfortunately, Caserato also put down to a Galil, which is not ideal for one of the better fraggers over on that Furia side. But let's see. Art looking to try and get the connector controller early on. He does manage to scare one away. And a spam then through the wood manages to drop steel. That's one way for Furia to find the man advantage to kick off this round. And a very crucial round at that, of course. Kusta ends up actually trading it back though on mid, but I mean, he doesn't escape unscathed. He is on 19 HP rather, so could be finished off quite easily. Unfortunately for Furia though, it's not going to be anytime soon, because Abel J didn't try and pounce on the opportunity. Art creeping forward though. The Krieg, the SG553 in his hands, will be successful to drop Neptune quickly. There's one more on the bomb site playing around the pillar. It's Freakazoid. You actually won't be able to find anything. Vinny accidentally gets the team kill as he's trying to spam through. That's a bit unfortunate. He didn't know his teammate was just on the other side of that smoke. He took the frag, of course, on the bomb site at the same time. 2-on-2 though, so it's still winnable for Fury. The issue is Kusta creeped up close. They have no idea. He's low HP, but still makes that frag happen, of course. We don't need a back being the target for him. It's quite easy. Abel J left in the one-on-one. Wardell actually not going to hit that op shot immediately, but he trades out for the AUG to finish it off. And of course then the op to be retrieved. 13-12. Ghost going to go ahead and claim the lead, as it looks like they may finally be able to pick themselves up a map here. FURIA at least able to buy again. I mean, at this point they've built up the full loss bonus. And they do have, of course, the extra $800 that they got from that bomb plant in the previous round. So if they can at least replicate that consistently, then they will be able to keep buying. But I mean, it's not really the best position for them to be in now, having given away that lead. They were in a great spot, as it looks like Ghost Gaming may be able to extend this onto a 5th map after all. It was looking pretty unlikely just a few rounds back. Here we go, looking to try and take it towards A right now. That is the goal for FURIA. Vinny does open it up. This time the frag that he claims doesn't also take down a teammate, which is certainly a positive. And off over towards long that they have to contend with. Wardell, though, has been playing this position quite frequently, so I mean, they probably should at least be cautious of it. Vinny going to catch Freakazoid coming out through that smoke. But Wardell, although he does get one, he was pinched in between long and the bomb site. Wasn't really much that could be done. Vinny gets a quick headshot, and now it's all on Neptune. It's the 1 versus 4. It looks like he is going to go down pretty soon, as it's the headshot from AbleJ to finish it off. 13-13. The lead that Ghost Gaming had quickly taken away. It's equalized once again. And with the damage that's been done, the economy of Ghost, I mean, isn't absolutely amazing, but they will have enough to rebuy in this round. It's Wardell who's just built a bank, man. I don't know where he got so much money in comparison to everyone else. I swear this caster always thinks he knows the outcome. That is not the case. I'm saying what could happen in certain scenarios. I'm not always saying I'm going to be right, and I'm not saying that is what's going to happen. I'm just trying to break down how the round is playing out and how it could play out. Here we go, the pause has been removed. As we said, the buy able to come through once again for FURIA. They are going to be... Oh, rather, once again from Ghost. As FURIA are looking to try and reclaim that lead that they lost in that previous round. So, will they be successful is the question. The team that loses this one is actually put in a pretty tough spot. Especially Ghost. If they lose this one, they won't be getting very much loss bonus at all in the next round. And it would put them in a tough spot, maybe having to give away map point. But I mean, that's not an issue if they're just able to continue fragging. Kusta gets 2 in connector. Wardell steps up rather as well to drop Yuri. That now a 5-on-1 in play. Make that a 4v1. Caserato actually able to get 1 in connector. But needs to be cautious. There's a player over towards short. There's the op still watching down into connector, which he does actually manage to force back off the angle with a bit of a pre-fire. But I mean, he's already low on HP against 4. His opportunities are not plentiful, and of course he ends up going down. Ghost, they reclaim that lead that they lost for a moment. Although they can buy again, if they don't make this one work, then map 5 at that point almost confirmed. I mean, even if Ghost get this round, FURIA, as long as they got a bomb plant, they'd be working with a pretty decent buy, and could certainly have the chance to bring back 2 rounds and take it to overtime. But that's not what they want to do. They want to try and get the win here in regulation if possible. Taking this round would leave Ghost with a not amazing buy in the next round, which would actually give FURIA a good opportunity to take it up to 15. So, I mean, let's see if they can get it done. Grouping up outside a monster early on in this round. Smoke going to be going over as they look to try and push out through Monster now. Caserato leading the charge. Will he be able to get anything done is the question. There's already 4 players actually down on this side of the map to contend with. The rotation has come through. The Molotovs have been successful, actually delaying the push from FURIA. And Steel peeks in to claim 1 on short. Shuts down Art. The one-way smoke towards the barrels working in favor of Neptune as he finds a frag and a bit more damage alongside of it. And FURIA at that point, after going down by a player being left in a 3-on-4, have decided that they don't want to push forward on B anymore. Yuri creeping towards A, though, actually gets a quick headshot on the Kusta. Molotov goes out as well to stop the rotation from coming up quickly. And as now we see the bomb being charged back around, could potentially get this planted straight on A. And I mean, Yuri stays aggressive. That's risky. It's risky because if he got dropped, we would see the bomb site likely being regained under the control of Ghost, but he's able to find another kill. And is now just in a little bit of a lurk spot. But Freakazoid haven't creeped past. He could get on the bomb site before the rotation actually hits the bomb site itself, so he could maybe even drop that bomb. Here we go, 15 seconds remaining. Yuri should have a free kill now from behind on Freaka side. It's a little bit awkward, actually ends up taking quite a lot of damage. They need to kill him quickly. Oh, that could cost him the round maybe, but fortunately it won't. Yuri ends up getting the frag eventually. Bomb's going to go down, and Furia again returning around immediately. Neptune, if he saves though, that'll allow for him to actually have a pretty decent buy in this next round, because he can drop one over as well. He's looking at the moment to try and go for it. I guess with a couple tagged up players with Furia, it is winnable. But ends up getting dropped by Yuri, who comes out with a quad kill in that round. A massive play, of course, after what was looking to be a heavily favoured round for Ghost, after they were able to actually come out on top of that initial fight in Monster. And as I said, Ghost came in losing that one now, put in a tough spot where their economy is not looking good. Did they force and try and fight for it now, or did they take the eco and try and send it into overtime? That's what the pause is coming in to decide. This is indeed a tactical pause from Ghost. I do also know that the second this tactical pause goes away, we're going to have a quick technical pause for Furia, but it has already been removed. The only thing is, of course, GoTV has a little bit of a delay, so we are a bit behind. So it won't be too long before we do get back into the action, a little bit longer than the normal 30-second tactical pause, as it will pause again in just a moment. There we go, I'm a genius. Who was saying that? I think I know what's going to happen. I know. I'm only messing. It's been a long night now, guys. It's almost 3 AM. And, I mean, a map 5 is looking quite possible, as I said. I mean, it's not looking as good as it was a moment ago, but this is certainly still a round that Ghost can win. I mean, they have a decent enough investment. It's not terrible. I'm not too sure what the issue was for this pause actually coming true, but as we said, of course, it's not going to be a long one. We know it is going to be removed, and hopefully within the next few seconds, I would imagine. As there we go. The pause has indeed been removed. I took the quick opportunity to rest my voice, rather, and take a quick drink. As we're getting back into the action, we are going to be seeing 30 rounds here on Overpass no matter what. Is it going to be with one of these teams taking the victory? Is it going to be with Furia claiming their spot at ESL 1 Cologne 2019? Is it going to be with Ghost taking it onto a map 5 so that they can still try and do so? Or will it be in overtime? There is a few different options, of course, at this point. But of course, we know Furia do have the better buy over Ghost. What mic am I using? I'm using an Audio Technica BPHS1 headset. Right now, the sound quality isn't as good on this mic as it can be. I don't know what happened when I went away for a while. I was over commentating that Charleroi event in Belgium and then Copenhagen Games. And when I came back, someone had messed around with it in my room. So I haven't been able to get it back properly working to the best quality that I did have it at. There's like a weird buzzing in the background that I haven't been able to fix since then. But now Furia pushing forward. Caserato, what a spray control on the AK. 2 quick headshots being found. He will eventually fall, but he's opened up the bomb site for his teammates. Will it be enough, though, is the question, because the returns are coming in from Ghost right now. Freak able to go ahead and find one. The op again chimes in. It's all onto Art right now. 1 versus 3. He gets the first, but another couple needed. It's 2 up in heaven. Actually, 1 going towards the spawn. He gets the headshot against Wardell. If Art pulls off this 1 versus 3, it will be miraculous. As Kusta pushes from the spawn, a FAMAS in his hands. He is up against a relatively low HP player. Art just above half. So that's certainly not perfect, but let's see. Creeping forward, he decides to take the AK. Gets shot at and takes a bit more damage, but with that, it does at least have the info now about where Kusta's coming from. But he needs to be careful. Creeping forward, there's a gap for Kusta to spot, of course, and that is going to be map point for Ghost right now. Kusta able to clutch out the 1 versus 1. Art done his best, but it wasn't enough. 15-14. Furia at least get the bomb plant, which means we will see them get out a pretty decent buy once again, so they can try and fight to send it into overtime. as it is actually a better buy for FURIA than we see for Ghost, because they were only able to survive with one player, so I mean, they have to put a lot of reinvestment in, drop over some weapons, etc. So, I mean, overtime is still pretty likely at this point, or rather, quite plausible. As it is indeed going to be round number 30. This decides it. Are Ghosts going to be able to send it onto map 5, or are FURIA going to extend Overpass to have the opportunity to close it out on this map and take themselves that spot at ESL 1 Cologne? And they're taking this round really slow right now. Expecting maybe some aggression to come through from Ghost, of course, though. It's not happening. Caserato just trying to wait and see if anyone pushes out through connector or towards the monster side to try and flank out. Elsewhere, FURIA just getting themselves the map control over on long, as they do have just over 50 seconds remaining now at this point. And now they do pretty much have to commit to A. That's the issue. They don't have the option to go back towards B since they've conceded all of that map control early on in the round. I mean, it's likely that no one got aggressive, but they're not going to be going for it. Instead, committing to A, going into where there was 3 players initially, and still making the trades work successfully. They actually do manage to come out with a man advantage. AbleJ with a bit of a whiffed spray. That could cost them this one. At 2 versus 2 now. Oh god, we have a little bit of an issue, as my chair did crack somehow. No worries though. A 2-on-2, as I said, though. Neptune eventually goes down. The issue is the bomb. It cannot be planted, and I mean, that's more so because Steel just went ahead and finished off